Yee Real Estate Network. Thank you for listening and watching this presentation. And this is Seewing Yee once again from the Yee Real Estate Network, and the title is Memorial Day Sale by VA Foreclosures. Now, so as we celebrating all the sacrifices of all the over the over the years of U.S. armed forces, soldiers, and military service members over several decades, several centuries actually, fighting the war to preserve the freedom. So we take this opportunity on Memorial Day, Monday, to just once again celebrate the sacrifices uh, and to just to take a step back and don't take anything for granted, because living in this great country, it has of the United States, is such a blessing. So for me personally, is a obviously is a very special meaning, because I for one has uh, been in the U.S. Army for 20 years, and I'm retired U.S. Army member. So been there, done that, and I'm very proud to have served in the U.S. Army. Has given me tremendous amount of life experience that bodes me well to this day, and allowed me the opportunity to travel over the world during my 20 years of military service, meet a lot of friends, travel all over the country, experience living in different areas. So just an amazing experience, something I will cherish for the rest of my life. So yeah, and allow me to achieve the financial goals that I'm set to achieve, mainly obtaining the military pension for life for my dedicated service, as well as having the medical almost free medical benefit for myself and my wife as well. So anyway, again, it's been such a blessing. So I would like all of us Americans live in the U.S., just celebrate today, and just to uh, just to enjoy the life that you're willing, especially going on with this pandemic situation. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this presentation, because that's the attention span is very short for most people. So I want to say this: VA Foreclosures has been a very successful program for myself and my investors, and the one of the very few individuals in the U.S. that understand the value and the profitability associated with buying VA foreclosures. So it has some connection. Memorial Day, right? Military service and buying VA foreclosures. You are essentially helping the U.S. government really to take a uh, a property off their books by buying property, so you could preserve the integrity of the house and the neighborhood, and rent it out for to good tenants, and at the same time, right, at the same time achieving your personal financial goals of achieving cash flow and appreciation and real estate growth associated with buying via foreclosures. So one additional value add, this is really you know I mean it, I mentioned it before, this real estate investing niche, niche, right, that we have here, that I have here, is really is a top secret, is a top secret weapon, right? Is a top secret financial and real estate weapon for you as an investor. For those of you that have the ability to buy these kind of properties, it'll long term, even short term, will bode you well for your financial freedom, right? So again, even with the economic chaos that we are all experiencing with the pandemic situation and the all the crisis that we've been experiencing for the past few months, but and a lot of people talk about the market, all the crisis, but I have to say uh, that buying via foreclosures in a way that we do it is, you could make an argument, is a recession-proof market, because a lot of the military properties I'm promoting are located in close to a military base, and that's the anchor, engine, economic engine that will provide long-term stability. Because many of you know, if you look at my newsletter, you'll see the various markets that we're promoting via foreclosures, and in several of the market that we're presenting, in especially the one we're going to talk about right now, are in close to military markets. So at the end of the day, you are not going to see, according to my estimation, I could be wrong, but as long as the pandemic situation is steadily improving, that we have been seeing the economy being reopening, and then hopefully the vaccine going to be developed within the next 9 months to a year. If all these conditions will take care of itself, then the real estate market will be stabilized in my estimation of moving forward. So currently, not only all the property we've been promoting in our network in Florida, in Texas, and Alabama, and Buffalo, where the market activity has been the same. We have not seen any kind of drastic changes. All the property still has been rented. Most of our tenants' property are still being rented. There are very, very few, if any, tenant evictions or people not paying, which is quite unique. To some of you, to many of you, you're thinking is a shock. To me, it is not, because we know what market to buy properties over all these years, the turnkey model that we use. So do not be shocked. I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised at all, because real estate investing is a specific market, is a specific neighborhood. It's not like everywhere in the U.S. react the same to this pandemic situation. So prices, at least the VA foreclosure market that we're promoting, we do not anticipate prices going down. Things will remain the same slightly, and everything will be, the market activity is still the same. Cash flow, tenant situation still continue to be the same. So all right. So with that said, there are a lot of VA foreclosures. There will be more coming down the pipeline. There are some changes, but oh, by the way, for those of you that ideally, although anybody can buy properties anywhere in the country using the various means, but my primary focus is for people that can qualify to use the 5% down Vendee financing. As I mentioned on various newsletters over many months now. Again, you can look at my newsletter just to get some basic understanding of this particular system that we are promoting. So ideally, in order to qualify for the 5% down investor Vendee financing, if you will, you need to have at least 2 years of rental property experience in the past. Doesn't have to be the past 24 months. If you can document that on a tax return or some other substantiated way, then you will qualify to buy a VA foreclosure with 5% down. Furthermore, of course, you have to get financing. Presumably, if you have a good FICO score, like a 720 or higher, you should qualify. If your debt to income ratio is below 40%, DTI, debt to income ratio. I'm not going to spend time to explain this, but if you do not understand what this important acronym means, you need to consult with a loan agent to educate you on that matter. All right, and of course you have to have the down payment readily available, right? And so the challenges with the buying VA foreclosures, the only challenge is you buy the foreclosure as is, right? The way it looks. You buying with whatever, and you have to compete against other buyers from other part of the country, so, and also you buy subject to the inspection, right? I think the most important key is the inspection. I mean, you're gonna have to spend out of your own money, okay? Because you're buying from the multiple listing service. This is not the typical turnkey model that we've been promoting all these years with our network. But my projection for most of you is that the rehab cost out of your pocket should not be more than $10,000–$15,000 that you have to pay in addition to the 5% down payment, in addition to the closing costs. So that is your cash invested in totally upfront. Okay, so of course you have to pay me a one-time fee of $1,997 just to end this program. Of course, again, I'm not going to spend too much time talking about it. You'll read my newsletter, you will know why. You know, this is the guideline that I impose upon my investor. All right, so let me see what else. So yeah, so I picked the best properties in best location. So you know, I mean, for those of you that qualify, we work closely. So at the end of the day, what you're gonna get is you know, is a good cash flow, potential for appreciation, great, you know, great tenants, potentially long for the long term, and you know, you have the on the ground. We have property managers in place. We have the rehab team, the contractors, all from the local area. They come as a referral. They will do everything for you. The lending, the title company is a turnkey kind of turnkey approach. Other than the fact that you have to pay for the rehab costs as a condition. I mean, you can always make an offer, right? And if you get lucky, your offer gets approved, right? And then you in the next 7 to 10 days, you'll have to do the rehab, pay for the inspection report, and then once you analyze the inspection report, shows that it's only cosmetic repairs, less than 15 grand. So that'll be ideal. Okay, you don't want to from so far away buying something that will require too much rehab because you're not there physically. You're buying remotely. You're buying, you know, sight unseen really, because these kind of properties very even under the current environment with the pandemic, all these good VA foreclosures, they are still getting multiple offers. They are still selling very quickly, and they are highly in demand, very little supply. Okay, that's all you need to know, right? So you have to be very courageous. So that's what it is. You have to. Anyway, all right. So let's go. So today's highlight, the feature property for this particular presentation is this property in Jacksonville, North Carolina, not Florida, North Carolina, which is close to U.S. Marine Corps Camp Lejeune, okay, the second largest Marine Corps base in the U.S. All right, so the expectation is that you're gonna receive most of the time a active duty soldier from the U.S. Marine or even the U.S. Navy soldier. Active duty gonna rent this property from you, right? And if the soldier is single, they usually stay for 2 years, at least 2 years. Sometimes they can re-enlist for additional years in this location. And if a active duty soldier is married, their tour is usually for 3 years in this location. So at least 2 years tenants for single soldier, and at least 3 or more years for a soldier who is married with a family, with a spouse, and perhaps with children. So, and of course, in case some of you do not know, the the beauty of this type of deals is such that the active duty soldier are getting a additional stipend, additional tax-free housing allowance to pay your rent. I mean, it's like the government is paying your rent. It's a government stimulus check for a long time. Okay, right? So that's the beauty, right? Very stable market. I mean, it doesn't, you know, could be. We're promoting several areas. Okay, not just Jacksonville, North Carolina. It could be Fayetteville. I mean, you look at my newsletter, you'll know the various areas that we're promoting. So there are conditions, but anyway, you have to meet in order to enter my program. That's the bottom line. But once you do enter it, based on past experience, you're going to have a very positive experience. And I mean, the risk is extremely low, and the benefit of investing is very, very high. All right. So anyway, this property is 93,000 as listed. A cookie cutter, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. 1,111 square foot. If you look at the property, it's nice, right? It's very cookie cutter. It's just clean. It's not. It's require only cosmetic repair. It's below market value. So you know, typical foreclosure. All right. Then let me see what else. This is the address. Let me see what else on this Zillow you can look at, which is very attractive. So let me highlight certain areas in here. Oops, let me go higher. So I already done the pro forma cash flow analysis attached to this newsletter. You can look at that. I know the projection is very, unpredictable, but the Zillow predicts this neighborhood will be rise in the next 12 months by 7%. So that's very good. And then the home value, yeah, rise by 7%. This area, this neighborhood in the past 12 months have risen by 7%. Is expected to raise by 7% next 12 months. It's just a prediction. But everything else looks good. I mean, it's a good, decent school district from a scale of 1 to 10 on a Zillow school rating. Elementary school 5 out of 10. Middle school is 6 out of 10, and high school 7 out of 10. So I would say this is a B neighborhood. B as in boy, right? You mean A, B, C, D, class neighborhood. So this is a B neighborhood, so which is good. So you're buying a property that are relatively new, that are built in 1998. If you rehab it correctly, it'll last a long time. The maintenance and upkeep will be low. The vacancy factor will be very, very low as well when you buy in the military market. And furthermore, the eviction and all the things will be very low because active duty soldiers makes the best tenant, because if they messed up, you're gonna report it to their first sergeant, their commander, and they will be subject to military disciplinary action. So of all the historic rental property scenarios, military tenants, active duty soldiers makes the best tenant. All right, because I know I am ex-military, 20 whopping years of experience. As a matter of fact, when I was in active duty, I was in the finance arena. That's my occupation, and I process soldiers in and out of on post when they transfer from one duty station to another, and I gave them their base pay, and I gave them the housing allowance, so to live off post. Okay, so I know every little thing about military tenants and the military market. This is a best kept secret. Very few people know about it because they just don't know. That's a niche. When you talk about real estate investing, there are different kind of niches, and because of my vast background, track record, and expertise, I'm the best person, very obvious, to promote VA foreclosure, the system. Okay. All right. Having said that, all right. So let me see, and should not be any longer. So this property obviously will go very, very quickly. Face it, you have to buy site, and you have to you cannot physically go there to evaluate the property, right? This property will be sold within, who knows, within 3 or 4 days, right? You're going to receive several offers. I mean, the VA seller will receive several offers with the best and highest will get the bid, all right? So not easy, so a little bit different, a little bit stressful, a lot of paperwork, right? So if you could overcome all the paperwork on buying something like this, you can if you have success buying your first VA foreclosure property, you can have the ability to buy a lot more. So all the numbers and metrics and whatever that makes a successful to buy a property, all the numerics is very clearly indicated here. So this link will show you, the cash flow analysis in more detail. On your own, you may click on this link, but on this particular property, again, the list price is $93,000. The monthly projected rent is $925, and the rent to value ratio is 1%. Capitalization rate 8.8%. Cash on cash return 18%. Monthly net cash flow is $258. Total out of pocket is $17,150. So, if you have any basic understanding of real estate, you will clearly know these numbers are above the benchmark metric when investors analyze the investment properties. Okay, I've done 99% of the research and due diligence for you. All you gotta do is do the other 1%. Okay, so the risk is extremely low, but Again, you have to be an investor, have more than 2 years experience to take advantage of this 5% down Vendee financing. Okay, so I mean, let me see what else I need to say. I think that's pretty much it. So this is an amazing program. But having said that, I mean, a lot of you are on my database are newbies, right? I mean, majority of you. So it'll be very challenging for some of you to do these kind of things. But even for investors with 2 years of experience, uh, preferably to enter this program, you guys have a lot of challenges as well. I work with many of you, and so you guys still need a lot of education, still are lacking. I mean, your education, most important thing is fear, right? Fear, FEAR, false evidence appearing real. So, so to recap, it is, you know, to be honest with you, I mean, not only with the VA foreclosure program, but the regular turnkey program that we promote, so many of you are just simply as much education that my organization provide for you guys on a consistent basis. Many of you have been on my database, so few of you able to pull the trigger. So all the education we receive, and yet so few of you pull the trigger. So it's very easy, tragic, really. So it's not, you know, all the property we promote is just amazing. It's just that you guys are so fearful, that so paralyzed with fear, you just can't do it. So that's why real estate investing is so lucrative, because it's so few of you able to do it. So 1% rule, 1% of you are able to take action and become financially free. And the other 99% of you, you know who you are, will never do anything, no matter how much education, how much many newsletters you receive, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm asking for you, the 1%, want to work with me. We work together to do this via foreclosure deal. Come contact me, take the initiative, show courage, contact me, and we'll work together. And I will love to help you to achieve your goal with buying via foreclosures. Amazing opportunities always will be. Okay, right? That's all I have. Thank you so much. This is for attending. This is Seewing Yee from the Yee Real Estate Network. Have a nice day. Goodbye.